So we are going to start by creating our form. So we don't need the action and we don't need the post, since we are not sending this to any backend. So the first thing that we need now is to create a label for what's your name, and you write name. Then also creates an input for text, with ID of name, and the name is name. Now, since we are using HTML validation, we add the HTML validation required. So this should be required. So the next thing we are doing is a label for what? A label for our email. And we write email, and we are going to put an input for this, and an input for this we can call it email. An input for this of type email. The ID we are talking about is email. The name we are talking about is still email. And we require HTML syntax. So the next thing we are going to do is to create. We are going to create an age, a label for age, a label for age, then the input for age. Age is not taking up a text, instead it's taking up a number. So we write number, the ID, we write age, the name, we write age. And now there is something tricky with this, because we are talking about a number, and they said we should use from the information given here. They say add a validation to ensure the user input a number between 1 and 100 in the field. So you can only input between 1, so you are adding your minimum value as 1, then your maximum value as 100. So you've added a validation to this. Then you can add your HTML validation required. This must be imputed. So now that you've done this, the next thing you are going to do is your label for, let's say, gender. So let me use small letter, gender. Come here and put gender. So now this label should carry, I want to apply what they call the radio function. Radio input. For our input now, the text type is radio. The ID is gender. Okay, we want to start first of all. We are starting with a male. So if you are a male, you select. The name should also be a male. think that's all. So they say you should use HTML, so you can add required, so it must be filled. So the next order, we need a value for this. Value should be name. I want to take up values. No, we don't even need this one. So the next, we need another input. This text is still radio. And what we need is an ID for female. An ID for female. Then we need the name to be a female. Value should be female. Put your HTML validation. Just let me put it like this so that we don't cause problems. Add our HTML validation. Now the next thing we want to do is to add our, so we've add, if you check, they said we should put a radio button. So these are radio, done that. Now the next one is check buttons. So we want to do something that involves our check buttons. So we can start another label. So for, you can see interest, for our interests. Interest. Then we come here and you see the input for interest should be the checkbox. The type should be check. So the ID, our ID should be interest. Then our value should be, let's say, coding. So our first interest is coding. So now we are going to add this mail and this email. I want to add others. So another input. Now this is reduce. So in case we have some LGBs. LGBT. So sorry. Orders. We don't want this to be required. They are not orders. How to do this? This is it. So others, then we have portable. Okay, that's it. Now the next thing we do, we write our coding. I want to go, I copy this from my interest, paste it here, change this to, I just need to change this instead of coding now. I'm changing it to sports. I'll change two of them, and instead of coding here, changing this to music. Next, to calculator and I think this is okay this way. So the next thing we are going to do is to add another label called comment. Label comments of notes. Comments. For if comments should not be an input to the text area where you can put your comments, so you can name it comment also. Comments, give it an idea. Comments as well. Then the next thing we are going to do is to add our ratings. Now this is where we are going to apply label for these ratings. And we're going to apply our select option. So we select for our ratings and ID ratings, and select should have options. So our option 1, the option we want to select is for value excellent. For excellent, you pick excellent. Next, another option we have here is called, can say, okay, good. Another option we have here, say, let's say, fair. Another option, we have here, poor. We can put it poor. So I think we've done all that we see. So the last thing after our selection is called our submit button. So our button, the button has a type. I'll call it submit, and give it submit, text submit. So I've added this. Let me launch this using go live. We launch this using go live. I don't know. So this is what it's looking like. As much as I like this is not looking interesting at all. This is just your raw. This is your raw HTML. Sorry. So this is just raw. Doesn't look nice. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is to make it look nice. You can see, you can click for our videos, you can click this for our videos, you can click it, you understand, as your radius. So now we say they are all required. So okay, now we can come and add CSS to this. That's why I'm linking. We can choose to use inline CSS, but the right way is to use our external CSS. So I'll say style.css. To style this, we can come here and put our style here. So we have to link this style. Now let me explain. Linking, this is where you have, after in your header you type link, and it's asking you for a reference. So if you put /style.css, you link this. Anything you come and place here, it will structure it. So firstly we start with our universal style. I like to use my universal style. Let me just put a comment about universal style. I like to call it the universal style, where I say hashtag for this project, let the margin of the project be 0, the padding be 0, and let my box sizing be border box. So you can see there is no longer space, everything is merged to the project. Now I can come and create a style for my body. I say okay, body, this is what you should do. For my body, I want you to display flex, and when you are displacing flex, you should make the flex direction the column. If I save this, so the column, okay, this is a form, don't worry. So we can go ahead to style the form. So our form, we can say let this form display block. So for our form, we can come and say okay, we want this form to have a border of 2 pixels, solid, let me say So now our form, we can say the width should be 600 pixels. So this is it. Made our width of our form 600 pixels. We can say OK. But again, width is 600 pixels. I think that's all. So the next thing we can go ahead to do is, okay, let our label, comma, our input, comma, our select, and text area. I want to start this one. They should be what display as block. So we have created this display block, margin button 10 meter, but I don't like the fact that they are not centered. So I can say justify content center. So align item center. So I've done this. Okay, justify content align item. It should be for my body. So I'll create a body and I say let all this apply to this. So my body should justify content align display. I should flex. Then flex. Okay. And do this with this. So my body, I can add a margin to the body. That's a shoe. 0 pixels up. Let's see, 10 pixels automatically. And 10 pixels. So I want to move this to the center. So what I do is to say on my align self. This is it. And you want to add color to the button. I select button background color on my button. Actually, no. So then my button like this. Green sound. So you can see my button is having a green sound. I can see vertical width of 200 pixels. So it's a bit larger. You can see, okay, button border. Oh no. So start the padding and the padding of 5 pixels. So start the padding of 5 pixels. And what should we do? Border radius of 5 pixels also. So start the booking. Now I don't like the fact that this gender is should I say they are arranged this way. I want them to be arranged horizontally in a row. So I go to my index. So for my gender, I give this one a label called gender, right? And the label gender has input order 8 with female and the rest. I can leave this way. I choose to put this in a div, then style the div. So I can choose to put this from here to here in a div and style that div. I cut it and I say div, put this inside here. So now I want to style the div. I come back here. I say div display flex, and I say understand. So the div have displayed this as a flag. Justify content space between. So that space this for you. So one can just say gender. If you are male, you select. If you are female, you select. Now if you discover, if you select, you cannot unselect because I added a require for everything. So I can come here and remove this required I added for all of them. So where's the div I created? Okay, for this div I added a require for male. So if I add require for male, it's me putting require for female and putting require for others. So if I add for this, I can easily select this. So now I have to, if I want to do it, I have to use JavaScript to be able to do this one. So let's just leave that one for now. But we'll be able to space this between. Now the width of my input, I don't like the fact that the width of this input is, I want to increase the width of the input, and I want everything here to come to the center. Also this interest, I want the interest to be aligned like this. So I can just copy, since they are all in div, I can come and copy all these, put them in a div also. So my interest up to music, cut it, say another div, and I put this inside. This appeared. So you can see music, this is light. This light arrow, okay, this okay. So I remove it, so you can see it's appearing that same way. Now we can come and, if we want to align text to center, you can come to this body I created and say text align center. Everything will be aligned to the center, but this will not be what we want. So align self center. Sorry, what I want is the form. I want to reduce this form to 400 pixels. It's a bit okay now. So excellence, we can choose from any of these. Choose fair, choose poor. So for our rating, so we can leave our style like this. Our number, we could increase it to any amount we want. I think this is okay for the first one. If you want to customize, you can come here and say okay, let's add a h1 tag before this and say h1 and say survey form. I want this h1 tag to be at this survey form. H1 tag to be at the center. So to make this h1 tag, go to my style, can add a h1. Say h1 be at my center. Say to make this at the center, what do I do? Justify content center align so you can see that we place this form to the center. And how did we do it? We had to use this styling to place this at the center. So I want to place this h1 to the center. Text align center. So my h1 is at the center. I can give it a color. Give my h1 color 333. Okay. And this is the margin bottom. This to space this. Okay. This works fine. I think I don't have any other thing to do to this. And this is okay like this. Unless probably I want to increase this my input to the other end, which will look a bit weird. So this is okay. You can customize, arrange this whatever, any other way you want, but I think this is fine for what I want. Fine and simple. So if this works for you, you can use it. If it doesn't work for you, you can tweak the code to whatever you want. But I think this is okay. Well, thank you.